Okay, yeah, we're going to be repairing a Samsung J3 Eclipse, Galaxy J3 Eclipse. Shattered screen. Sure you can see that there. So yeah, I ordered the kit here from Repair Parts Plus for the phone. And, yeah, so I guess I'll go ahead and turn this off here for starters. I'm supposed to. Alright. Okay, that's the order sheet. I'll go ahead and toss that over there. And the kit, they said they would come with it to go ahead and do the phone. So go ahead and set that over there. I imagine the main components under here. Alright, LCD and touch screen. Alright. Okay, so according to the video that I watched, for starters, we go ahead and power it down, which we did. Okay, that we did. Power off, power off. Okay. Yeah, so there is a buzz, so the power's off. Alright, so you gotta start by taking this back panel off. There's a little slit right there. You wedge in there and pop that bad boy open, which I'll go ahead and do now with this little screwdriver. Oops. And then go ahead and bring it around the edges. Don't want to damage it. They seem to pop out pretty easily. Okay, so it just popped right off there. Alright, and I've never done this myself before, so just going ahead and repairing it. So then the next instruction they gave was to go ahead and take the battery out. That's that there. And then I know they showed, let's see, there's supposed to be a card in here, and then you want to remove this card out of here. Okay. Then at this point, the next stage would be to actually start prying this inner piece off. So yeah, according to the instructions, now that we've got it down to this point here, it's a matter of getting inside this real little teeny crevice along the edge and actually prying all this off. It is pretty shattered, so it's really hard to get in there. Maybe the camera's able to pick it up. But what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and, because I don't want to damage any more of the edge, it's already been damaged. Here, clearly it was damaged from, I imagine, the drop that took place when it cracked it. But, so yeah, I'll go ahead and wedge this piece in there and see what happens. Okay, got the screwdriver a little bit under there. I'll go ahead and run it along the edge as they suggest. You see it's starting to peel apart. I'll kind of wet or pry it just a little bit, make sure it doesn't damage anything. Seeing that the camera piece is up here and a microphone as well. But I'm going to keep doing that wedging around the edge here. watched some repair videos, or at least I've watched a couple. You know, they seem to go pretty quick, but I suppose when you're doing it yourself or for the first time, like dirt and stuff coming out between this thing as well. See if I can use their little tool. Wedge that in there a little better. And just prying little by little. I believe, yeah, this piece here that we're going to be replacing, that's actually being held down by adhesive. Tilt, little twist as I'm prying. Trickier than I thought. Actually, I know it's tricky, but twist a little more. You can see the adhesive peeling up because this is glass. I want to make sure, you know, you don't cut yourself. There's a shatter right there. I had some glasses on too, so in case any pieces of shards of anything fly off. So yeah, we'll see if we can get this to come off piece by piece. I may go ahead and take most of this off, or at least all of it off, and then come back to the video. You know, so instead of me sitting here fiddling around this whole time while you're waiting, but I think this is the most tedious part, is getting it off, from my understanding. I can see why, because again, the screen is cracked, so it's going to come off in little teeny pieces that we can see here. So, yeah. May get a heat gun or something like that too, maybe just to run, or a blow dryer, so just to run over it. I'll loosen up the glue a little bit, maybe a little bit. Okay, so yeah, it's actually going to come off in little teeny pieces, so and this thing's pretty shattered, so I imagine it's going to come off piece by piece. I'll just go ahead and keep prying in here, and then you know, time lapse this thing or something and bring it forward. So maybe I actually be able to get a majority off in one fell swoop. We'll see. I keep prying along here. I'm doing this gently too as I can, by the way. I'm not like roughing it around or anything. And I can see this just can't wait to shatter. So that's what we're seeing so far on the inside. And this is the main part that needs to pop out. You want to be careful pulling this out, because luckily for me I have the replacement, but the first boo-boo I made was this here. The part that slides out here. Huh. this is the piece that's going to be being replaced. Basically the idea is I just got to get this piece of tape out of there. During the elapsed time I did open up the other one just to compare it, to show what they look like, the repair phone screen and the cracked one. But it's these things in the back, and what I was saying about this tab here that got tore off that went here, that's got to make sure you don't do. I guess it ain't gonna matter on the one you're taking off, but you know, I have to make access to this in order to replace, plug back in this one the correct way and without damaging any of the components that reattach themselves up here, or up here, my fault, I had that upside down. There's an arrow that shows on here, and I'm just not sure if it's telling me to push that way or lift up at this area. Seems to be moving a little bit, but wouldn't damage it. Nope, I guess it does pop off. And that one video, there was a piece like this that did ultimately pop off. So, okay, that was on me there. So, to continue the rest, basically this little plug unplugs, and we're going to go ahead and make sure we plug the other one back in nice and neatly and gently. Wow. This is not the prettiest job I expected to happen on here. So, as I go along here, I want to make sure everything's fit. I did make sure everything was cleaned here. Let me see if we can do it. There's more gunk here. Old glue should be taken out. That way we got a good clean seal. We'll put it back. So again, as I was saying, clearly I'm not an expert at this. Regular Joe Blow, just like you, trying to figure out how to do this and save myself some money. I've repaired other electronics before. I had to repair a broken Kindle screen before, and that was a little tedious in itself. So, but it was fun. I like learning that kind of stuff and passing it on in case anybody else wants to know. So, yeah. In this case, I'm sure if I'd have been a little more versed in this area of the phone, it probably would have went a little quicker and probably a lot more neater. So let's see here. I just want to make sure this is all nice and cleaned up. That's all. Make sure there's no little pieces of shards of glass. There's little ones on the table here, but so okay, so for the most part, looks like we got it down to where it should be. Don't want to damage anything more beyond what's already happened before. Okay, so now So when I look at the back of this, it's got this metal covering or copper covering over this metal sheet here. It's hard. So when I'm looking at this one, I'm almost tempted to peel away this blue because I know that's where the adhesive is. But I just want to make sure it's not something that I shouldn't be peeling off. So what I want to do first is I'm going to go ahead and plug this plug in. It's a little bent there. I'll go ahead and straighten it out. I'm sure if you can see it's very delicate. Really super delicate. So okay. I don't know if you could hear the click or not, but it clicked right in pretty neatly, I should say. Okay, and just want to make sure that when I'm folding this down, that this is folding down the correct way, the inside there. Okay, and making sure that everything's fitting in place. So then before I do anything there, I gently want to reopen this so that I can put back on the little pop-off cap that I almost believe that I broke for a minute there. That was scary. This back up. I don't know if you guys can see this. There we go. Try to slide that in, and I believe this should pop right down. Okay, so that's that. Alright, now I don't feel any adhesive residue here, which makes me wonder. Yeah, I don't see any adhesive on here either. So go ahead and put this on here. Again, making sure I have everything lined up correctly. Alright, and before I do lock anything in place, make sure that everything's working the way that it should. So we'll start by putting back in the card. Oops, got fumbly hands. Alright, there we go. Pop that back in there. Go ahead and pop the battery back in there. Turn it over. We'll go ahead and power it on, make sure everything's working correctly. Okay, and let's see, I'll go ahead and swipe up. Get apps. Everything appears to be popping on. Swipe over, okay. So let's swipe on. Going to home screen. And that shows that everything is working. So go ahead and power it down. So after testing everything on there now, putting on at least little side adhesive strips that they provide you with, to reseal it down around the edges. A little tedious. So I just been kind of fast forwarding, time elapsing the video because it takes a minute. And these two are super thin and trying to lay them inside the line or the edge of the phone. Okay, sports fans, so the short and skinny out of it is it's working. Done. Swipes. All the stuff it's supposed to do. Back button. Flip out of that button. So yeah.